If you love a high-end look but don't want to spend a lot of money, keep watching because in today's video, I'm going to show you how to buy Dollar Tree items and turn them into high-end decor. I found these coastal garden pots on Anthropologie's website and wanted to try to recreate them. So I went to Dollar Tree and the thrift store to find some clear jars. When you're looking at your jars, just make sure you find a similar shape because you can always use paint to make them the color you want. On the coastal garden pots, they have texture and seashells on the front. So I wanted to mimic that look. So at Dollar Tree, I bought some seashells and I also bought a bag of potpourri. Originally, I thought the shells would definitely be what I wanted to use, but as I was going through the potpourri, I really liked the texture of it. So I started by pulling out the various potpourri pieces and putting them into piles. Once I decided which potpourri pieces I wanted to use, I hot glued them to the front of my vases in a cascading pattern, and I repeated that for all 3 of my vases. Now, one of my favorite new spray paint colors, and if you guys don't have this one, try it out. It's the color Sand Dollar by Rust-Oleum. It's this really pretty putty color. So I used that with these vases and I sprayed 3 coats. You really need quite a few coats to cover up that potpourri. I let each coat dry in between. To finish it off, I used a texture spray in a beige and ivory color. You guys are gonna have to let me know if these are a good dupe for the ones we saw on Anthropologie's site. Picture frames can be really pricey and they're really also easy to recreate with Dollar Tree items. On one of my recent Dollar Tree shopping trips, I found these wood pieces that I thought would make perfect frames. They were in the crafter's square, so I picked up 2 of them. So I really liked the look of the lighter wood, but I felt like the darker wood could use a little bit of help. So I used one of my medium stains on the outside of the frame. I also used that on the inside where the inside of the frame was a darker wood. And to add the stain, I simply used a paper towel to wipe it on, and then I wiped off any excess with a clean paper towel. I received a message from a follower, Little Pink Pickup on Instagram, with an amazing idea. I don't know how I didn't think of this. She said, if you ever want an inexpensive leather handle, go to the thrift store and buy a belt. It's so much more affordable. And I was like, that's a genius idea. So that's exactly what I did. I went to the thrift store and I found a belt for $3. I'm gonna use this belt to create handles for my picture frames. So I cut off the buckle. Then I divided the belt in half and then I cut it down the middle. Then I'm going to shape the belt at the top so it creates a handle and I'll hot glue it to the back. I'm gonna repeat that step on my other frame, making sure that they're about the same height. I wanted some frames for a recent trip I took to Chicago, so I just printed off pictures from our trip. They're 5x7s and I printed them in black and white. I'll add E6000 to the 4 corners of my frame and I'll place them in the center. And here's how they look hung up together. I never have a lot of time to cook dinner, especially on busy weeknights. My kids are going from activity to activity, even in the summer, so I need something quick and easy, and that's why I love HelloFresh. HelloFresh comes to my door. The ingredients are pre-portioned, so I can just start cooking. Figuring out what's for dinner is not at the top of my summer to-do list. That's why I love HelloFresh, because they do all the work for me. HelloFresh has 40 recipes to choose from weekly, and they send you these really easy to follow recipe cards, so even if you're not great at cooking, you can follow this. Today I'm making plant-based Tex-Mex Messy Janes. If you're really pressed for time, HelloFresh also has these fast and fresh options that only take 15 minutes to make. So I'm gonna start by getting my potatoes in the oven. That's step one on my recipe card. These recipe cards that HelloFresh sends out only have 6 easy steps to follow. Now I'm gonna prep the rest of my ingredients. HelloFresh's seasonal ingredients are picked at peak ripeness, and they travel from the farm to your doorstep in less than 7 days. The convenience of HelloFresh is amazing. It comes straight to my door and I don't have to spend time grocery shopping. Make your summer so much easier and go to HelloFresh.com. You can use my code Fenwick16 at checkout for 16 free meals plus free shipping. I'll put the link to HelloFresh down in the description box, and I also want to thank them for sponsoring today's video. Again, you guys, that's HelloFresh.com, and don't forget my coupon code, which is Fenwick16 at checkout. You're gonna get those 16 free meals and free shipping. Another site that I love to look on is McGee & Co. And when I was looking on there, I found this marble doorstop, but the price on it was so expensive. But as I was looking at it, I thought, you know what? That reminds me of those bells that they have out in the shore living section. So I thought, let's try to recreate this. So using that bell, I'm gonna use that as the base of my DIY. Now the top of it has this nautical rope piece, and I'm gonna tape that off with some frog tape because I want that to stay in place when I'm done with my project. Next, to give it some weight, I decided I should put some Quikrete in the center of the bell. So I mixed Quikrete with water, and then I'm going to put that on the inside. Now with Quikrete, you want to let this set up overnight. That's exactly what I let it do. And then the next day I came back and it was time to paint. So I sprayed the outside with 2 coats of a white spray paint. Next, I'm going to show you how I do my marbling technique. Now, if you've been on my channel, you've seen me do this before. What you want to do is get a container or a bowl of water. Next, you need a spray paint called Sea Glass Spray Paint. And if you want it to look marble, I suggest getting the one in gray. I'll link it for you down in the description box. What you're going to do is you're going to spray that paint on the top of your water in different bursts. Then you're going to take whatever item you want to marble. In our case, I have my white doorstop, and you're going to dip it into the water. Wear gloves while you're doing this so you don't get paint all over your hands, and then pull it up. Then you're going to turn the piece and dip it in again, pull it up. Now the cool thing about this is if you feel like you need more paint, you can always add it to the top of the water and continue to dip your piece in until you feel like it has that marble appearance. You can see on this piece that this technique definitely gives it that marble appearance. Let it dry completely, then you're going to remove your painter's tape from your nautical rope, and here's how my doorstop turned out. Let me know what you think. Should we have gone with the high-end version or the Dollar Tree one? Dollar Tree has a plus section at some of their stores where they sell items for $3 and $5. And every time I go shopping at Dollar Tree, I always check it out and see what new items they have. One of the times I went, I found this scallop tray. I thought it was so cool. It was priced at $5 and it was in the Crafter's Square section. So to DIY this tray, I'm going to be using a medium stain on it. I'm going to paint the stain on with a foam brush, and then I'll use a paper towel to immediately wipe off any excess. I'm going to let that stain dry overnight. It's really important to do that when you're going to add additional paint, just to make sure that your paint is able to stick. Now I wanted to add a fun paint technique to really bring out that scallop border. I'm going to add frog tape to the inside of my tray on the base, and I'll do that all the way around. Next, I wanted to paint a rectangle, so I cut the tape off so that it was nice and straight, and I added a straight row. Then I came through and did the exact same thing on the other side, and then I'm going to cut off another piece of tape and add it to make another straight line. Once I get to the edge, I'll just roll the tape over and place it down, and I'll repeat that step on the other side. I'll do a long piece, and then I'll roll it over and place the tape down. Now my piece is completely ready for paint. Using a foam brush and some black paint, I'm going to paint the top edge of the scallop, trying not to get it on the sides where I stained. After I do that, I'll use my foam brush and the black paint to paint inside that rectangle line that I have on the base of the tray. Now, when you're done painting, you can immediately pull up the painter's tape. That's what I prefer to do. So I'll just take the painter's tape up. If you have any mistakes, you can sand them off, or you could just put decor on top of it. And here's how the tray turned out. Make sure you paint that subscribe button. If you're watching me on your phone, the subscribe button is right next to my channel name. Click the red subscribe button so it goes from red to gray. You can also click the notification bell so you can see more videos like my Dollar Tree DIYs, home hacks, and room makeovers. If you go shopping at Dollar Tree anytime soon, you're probably gonna come across this bee line. They have several really cute pieces, and one of the ones I found was this little trinket dish that I wanted to pick up. Now, I loved the shape of it, I loved the bee on it, but the color really wasn't my favorite, so I wanted to paint it. So I went to Sherwin-Williams and bought a sample paint. That's one of my hacks. Whenever you're wanting craft paints, buy them in sample paint colors because they're pretty affordable and you can get practically any color you want them in. The color I'm gonna be using is Sherwin-Williams Agate Green. So I'm gonna paint 2 coats of the green color on my dish. I'm gonna let that dry. Bring out the details in the bee and the honeycomb, I'm gonna be using a gold Rub and Buff color. Now, to put this on, I like to use a foam brush, and I'll just put a little bit of Rub and Buff out on my table and then put a little bit onto my foam brush. Now, when you're doing this, you wanna go really easy and just lightly dab the gold onto your piece. You could always add more if you need to. I'm just wanting to bring out the piece as much as possible. I'm also gonna do the same thing with the raised honeycomb lines. And once I'm happy with the amount of gold accent that I put on, I'll let that completely dry. You could use this in your bathroom, for your rings, or really anywhere around your home. If you get the chance to shop in the Shore Living section at Dollar Tree, they have these nautical balls that are perfect for styling around your house. Now, with these nautical balls, they come with a handle on it. I wanted to cut those off, so I'm just gonna use my scissors to cut off the handles. You can style these in so many ways throughout your home. You can put them in a big bowl, or you could just use a few in a grouping. If you've made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. Comment the word of the day, which is Dollar Tree. For this next DIY, I wanted to cover a box that I had picked up from the thrift store. So I started by removing the front piece and the back hinges with a small screwdriver. For the base of my box, I'm gonna be using the wood contact paper that you can pick up at Dollar Tree. I'm gonna measure it around to make sure I have enough to cover my box, and then I'll cut it off. Then I'm going to cut it down so it's about 2 inches higher than my box. I'll remove the backing, and I'm gonna start on the back corner, placing it down, and then I'll smooth it all around the box until I get it all the way covered. And then if there's a little bit of excess, maybe 2 or 3 inches, I'll just continue that onto the back. Then I realized I need to cut it down a little bit because I only wanted to fold it over about 1.5 to 2 inches. So I'm gonna cut it down just a little bit. I will adhere the rest of the laminate to the inside of my box. Now I'm going to turn my attention to the top of the box using a Dollar Tree canvas. Using my wire cutters, I'll pull out the staples in the back of the canvas. Then I'm going to wrap it around the top of my box. I'm going to hot glue the 2 long sides. Then with the shorter sides, I'm gonna tuck in the edges and hot glue that in place. I'm gonna poke holes in the front of the canvas on the front side so that I can place my handle back in. And then I'll do the same on the back side and add back in the hinges that I had on before. And here's a look at how my covered box turned out. Now, if you ever go to Dollar Tree, make sure you check the Crafter's Square. I found these really cute set of 3 boxes there, and you could use them as organization. I'm gonna use them as wall art boxes. So I bought this pack of stickers that they have over in the sticker section. Love the succulents, and I'm going to figure out which ones are gonna fit best into my box. I'll pull them off and stick them on my boxes. This was so easy to do. And then to hang it up, I'm just gonna use some command strips on the back and place them on my wall. All right, you guys, it's your turn to vote. Let me know down in the comments which of these projects was your favorite. I love knowing your opinion, so just leave the number down below in the comments. And don't forget to try that project you've always wanted to try. And remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. I hope you subscribe because I want to see you back here. Bye.